Temple is built by devotees' hearts. The land is just real estate. It is identified as the birthplace, and obviously there's no question mark whether there was a temple or not. Nothing can be eternal unless it's all-inclusive. The last 800 years is the bloodiest tale that's ever happened in any part of the world ever. These three icons, Shiva, Rama, Krishna. Thousands have been temples have been demolished. Nobody's asking because it's impossible to refix the history, and nobody thinks we can refix the history, nor is anybody interested. These three iconic places they're asking for, why can't it be just offered without a fight? Where is a fight? And nobody's fighting, they're only going to the court. Court is not a fight, it's a legal process. What's happened in the last 800 years is the bloodiest tale that's ever happened in any part of the world ever. What happened to the Jews with Adolf Hitler? What happened to Native Americans with North America? What happened in Cambodia? All these things are nothing compared to what happened in India in these 800 years. And if you don't think that is bloody, and there is no any kind of remorse in people who committed those things, then just people want a small piece of real estate back for their asta, and that is divisive. Why is it divisive? It is real estate. But temple is built by devotees' hearts. The land is just real estate. But it's sacred for them because it is identified as a birthplace, and obviously there's no question mark whether there was a temple or not. It is not one temple. Thousands of temples were raised because that's the policy, that it must be raised, and it will be raised in future also. If we don't protect it, it will be raised in future also. Even now in Pakistan, Bangladesh is happening. Why should it be divisive? Why can't everybody settle down to whatever nonsense they believe in and do their stuff? In this civilization that you refer to as Hindu right now, which unfortunately has been so badly distorted, or let's say probably more appropriate word would be Sanatan, but that also has become a bad word today. So in this culture, nothing can be eternal unless it's all-inclusive. In this culture, there is no such thing as prayer. In this culture, there is darshan. In this culture, the aspiration is not to go to heaven and sit with God. In this culture, the aspiration is to become divine. So, when they say he is God, they're not saying he lives in heaven or some nonsense. They are saying he is risen above what we think is human ceiling. He's risen above that. This is how we worshipped Rama, Krishna, everybody. They rose beyond their limitations, no matter what life throws at them. Even in a battlefield, they're cool. Even in a battlefield, he's joking. We bow down to him, and everybody's terrified of life and death. Somebody is above that, means we'll bow down to him. So in this culture, we are not wanting to go to God. We want to become that. This is a complex nation with variety of problems. But how to harness the possibilities and put the problems to sleep? You can't get rid of them, at least put them to sleep for some time. I think that effort is going on in a big way.
Now, Varanasi District Court permits puja in the sealed cellar of Gyanvapi Mosque complex in Vyas Ji Ka Tehkana, an area within the mosque complex. Namaskaram everyone. So recently, the Archaeological Survey of India, that is ASI, surveyed the Gyanvapi Mosque complex, reports of which are clearly showing that the mosque is standing in the temple whose walls are constantly shouting that it is a temple. Although we do not need any proof that the mosque is standing on the temple, but still, after performing surveys, even there are still some people who are not ready to accept it. Looking at the western walls of this mosque, a child can even tell that the mosque has been built in the place of the temple. But still, on the request of the court, the ASI team did a survey, and when the report of ASI came, it was not at all shocking that the mosque is built on a temple. So today, in this video, we are going to present the detailed analysis of that report in front of you so that you know what are those points, what are those proofs through which ASI came to the conclusion that Gyanvapi Mosque was built by demolishing Kashi Vishveshwara. Before proceeding forward, let me tell you that the report which is available in public domain has only 8 to 10 pages of the original report, which was of 400 pages. And one should also know that ASI did not did the survey just in the air. They performed various techniques like seismic techniques, electromagnetic methods, magnetometry, gravity surveying, and most important, carbon dating, which is a method used to establish the age of organic materials based on the radioactive decay of carbon-14. Now moving forward in the report analysis, if you see the 18th point of the report, ASI has clarified that they have found the inscriptions on the loose stone inside the mosque in which it is clearly written that the construction of mosque was done by Hazrat Alamgir ruler, that is Aurangzeb, in the 20th year of this rule, that is in 1676, and later in 1792 the Sahan or the courtyard of this mosque was also reconstructed. Now one thing, if you are a keen observer, you should also observe point number 19, that these inscriptions they have already captured during 1965-66 itself, and when in 2024 they were again doing the survey, they found that the inscriptions have been erased. That means either it has been erased by time or someone literally tried to hide the truth. No one knows. Now this point clearly gives the evidence that the temple was demolished during the reign of Aurangzeb. But how to prove that it was demolished by Aurangzeb himself? So in point number 20, you can see that it is clearly stated that this thing, that is a demolition of temple, took place by the order of Aurangzeb. And this has been stated in Masare-e-Alamgiri, a history of the Emperor Aurangzeb Alamgir, reign 1658-1707 AD by Saki Mustad Khan, a contemporary to Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. If you haven't watched my first video in which I have talked about the complete history of Gyanvapi, you can watch it after completion of this video. I have given the link in the description. I have talked about this in detail. So moving forward, it was clearly reported in Masare-e-Alamgiri that according to Emperor's command, his officers has demolished the temple of Kashi Vishveshwara. Now moving forward to the reports of ASI, in point 70, it is clearly stated that 34 inscriptions written in Devanagari, Grantha, Telugu and Kannada were found in temple walls. And the biggest thing to note down is that other names of Mahadev, that is Janardhan, Rudra and Umeshwar, can also be seen. Now when we further move into the evidences, it was found that the mosque was built from the part of the old temple that was broken. In point number 60, it is clearly stated that when surveys were done in pillars, it was found that these pillars were part of the temple. If you have seen any Hindu temple, you might have seen that our temple has figures of Vyal, Kamal, Ghanta, and same figures were found on those pillars. Later, Islamic floral arts were created by distorting those arts, that is, the Hindu figures in the pillars were removed and Islamic figures were made on it and the mosque was built. Now moving forward, let's look how Kashi Vishveshwara looked in ancient times. In 8th point of the report, it is said that there was a very large room in the middle of the temple and there were other small rooms in all the 4 directions of this room. I have also talked about in detail in one of my videos of Gyanvapi. If you haven't watched, you can watch after this. So according to ASI team, there are 3 rooms of north, south and west that still exist, but the east room has been floored, due to which we are unable to access the room without excavation. So when the ASI team did excavation on the east side, what did they found? If you look at the 21st point of this report, it has been said that there are a lot of floor rooms in the mosque. Along with that, there is a big platform in front of mosque. The purpose behind building this platform was many people should be able to accommodate to use the mosque. Now the thing is to note that this platform was made in the eastern direction only, so that the room in the east is now inaccessible. If you want to look at the perimeter of our ancient temple, a map is coming on your screen. This is a map created by James Prinsep in 1832, who is the father of Indian numismatics and epigraphy. All the dotted line shows the area in which the temple was broken and masjid was created. Now moving on to the next point, the 9th point, ASI said that the middle room of the temple, where this middle room was built, the central hall of Gyanvapi Masjid exists. And in this old structure of the temple, the strong walls in it have been used in this mosque in the same way. Not only that, Other components have also been used in the same way, but the difference is that the art of Hindu religion have been destroyed and changed into floral designs. Along with that, if you watch the 10th point, it has been said that the entrance door of the temple was very beautiful. There was a big door and then there was a small door, and there were beautiful paintings on them. But when the Muslims broke them, they destroyed everything. Along with that, we have also received very important thing from the basement. In 22nd point of the report, it is clearly said that in the basement, the pillars on which they are standing is a Hindu pillar, and you can clearly see the shape of the bells on these pillars, and the shapes have also been made to keep the lamp under the pillar. Now, do you know that the use of bells in Islam is prohibited? What is this pillar which is engraved with bells is doing here? It is really a big question. Now, along with these, the surveys uncovered fragments of what appear to be the statues of Hindu deities, including Lord Hanuman, Ganesh, and Nandi within the mosque complex. These structures and statues were found in various states of damage, including the Shivalinga, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ganesh, Krishna, and Hanuman. Not only this, several Unipattas, that is the base of the shivling, were discovered during the survey. A shivling with its bottom part missing was also being discovered. If these evidences are not enough to engrave in your mind that it is a Hindu temple, one can also read Kashi Khand in Skand Puran, which talks about the history of our Lord Vishveshwara temple. If you look at Kashi Khanda's 26th chapter, you can find about the mention about Kashi Vishveshwara Mahadev temple. Not only this, if you go to 33rd and 34th chapter of Kashi Khanda, you can also find mention about Gyanvapi. In chapter 33, it is well said about the description of Gyanvapi. It is clearly written that Shiva himself dug this well of liquid wisdom with his trident before Ganga even came there. Pilgrims start their pilgrimage in and about Varanasi only after stepping its water, that is Sankalp, at the beginning and the end of the pilgrimage. In fact, in 34th chapter of Kashi Khanda of Skand Puran, Gyanvapi is praised in 127 shlokas by Skanda himself. One of the lines is, Skand himself says that Gyanvapi is the cosmic form of Shiva himself. It generates Jnana, or the perfect knowledge. There are many tirthas that sanctify devotees immediately, but they are not equal to even the 16th part of Gyanavapi. If anyone listens to the origin of Gyanavapi with great devotion, his knowledge does not become extinct even on death anywhere. If you wish to study the Kashi Khanda online, I have given the link in the description. If you wish, you can go and read in that platform. Lastly, please share this video as much as possible among your friends and families so that many people as possible should know about the truth of this matter. Next, whatever updates come, we will update you through our videos and through our channel. And yes, if you loved the video and found it meaningful, do not forget to give it a like, share and subscribe. And also, do not forget to watch the video in which I have talked about the complete history of Gyanavapi, saying that it was not demolished just once or twice. It has been demolished thrice regularly from the ancient period only. And now, up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy, and namaskaram.